Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Bosses at a council blasted after the botched felling of city center trees are under fire again, this time over plans to sell a neighborhood's only green space for housing. Just 15 months after 110 of 129 trees were felled on a key pedestrian route through Plymouth in a nighttime chainsaw massacre, halted by a high court injunction at 12:30 a.m., campaigners are now trying to halt development of social housing on suburban land owned by the council. The homes would be built by a housing association to help deal with a long waiting list for social housing. But residents complain the loss of open space would force youngsters to cross busy roads to play on green space far from their homes. And the campaigners say they are also greatly concerned by the threat to mature trees, including a hedgerow and oak tree, along with habitats for foxes, hedgehogs, bats, birds, and butterflies. Controversy over the land on Wilmot Gardens, in the city's Crown Hill neighborhood, is due to come to a head in the coming weeks, with the authority deciding whether a planning officer or planning committee of elected councillors should decide whether to approve the scheme. Plymouth City Council, won by Labour in May last year, partly because of anger over the city centre tree felling last March under the previous Tory administration, insists new social housing is needed to clear a waiting list of 7,000 people. Its leader Tudor Evans said that in response to objections, the number of new homes has been scaled down from 7 to 5, the hedgerow would be protected and a new play park built, but he admitted the oak tree would be felled. The land will not be sold by the council for the scheme unless planning permission is granted. Crown Hill Local Area Residents Association, CLARA, have been leading protests against the scheme, with 40 objections sent to the council. It is being supported by STRAW, Save the Trees of Armada Way, which protested against the tree felling in the city center. Matt Fleming, spokesman for CLARA, said the group wants to protect our final remaining piece of green land in the community. He said, "This land is used by many young children from across our community to play on. There's simply nowhere else they can go to play on green land without having to cross dangerous roads and walk more than a mile. Dog walkers, the elderly and the vulnerable also regularly use this space, and if it is lost to development, then they lose this vital green area in the heart of our community. Then there's the issue of the trees. Some of these trees are large and mature, and they sit in an ancient hedgerow. If that prevents development of 5 dwellings, then so be it. Our natural resources are more important than trying to cram homes onto a small yet important green space. The potential loss of wildlife, including foxes, hedgehogs, bats, birds, and butterflies, also greatly concerns us. Calling for the scheme to be considered by a planning committee rather than an unelected official," Mr. Fleming added, "We're asking for a chance for this to be discussed in a fair, open, and democratic manner in a public forum. We understand the need for affordable housing in Plymouth, but this green space greatly contributes to the health and well-being of our community. It is indeed a community hub, particularly over the summer months. Residents are being supported by Tory candidate Johnny Mercer, fighting to retain his Plymouth Moorview parliamentary seat." He said, "I have been contacted by a number of residents living in and around Wilmot Gardens, who have highlighted their concerns to me regarding the loss of their only green space in the area, which is currently being considered for housing. This green is used by the whole community for exercise and socialization. Dogs are walked here and children play together. I am joining residents in highlighting these concerns to the Labour-led council. If I am re-elected, I will do all I can to support residents to retain this valuable community asset." Ollie White, of STRAW, said, "If this space is lost, the next nearest area where local children could have a kickabout on will be half a mile away and on the other side of a busy road. How much of an impact will 5 new homes make to the shortage of social housing, compared with the difference the green space makes to the lives of hundreds of people?" Ms. White said her group is